Since my e-bike video for preppers, I've had a lot of well-reasoned feedback and many questions. I'll answer some of it here and explain the reasoning that led to my choice. Up front, I need to say that I don't receive any compensation from the manufacturer, and I paid full price for my bike out of my own money. I'm sharing my experience to help others as they consider the many factors that can make their choice of an e-bike perfect for them. This video is a little longer, so I put the time codes in the description below so you can skip straight to the parts that interest you. My e-bike journey began when other members of our preparedness community began to get e-bikes and were encouraging the rest of us to do the same. I chose the very best e-bike for my requirements, the 2021 Wallke X3 Pro. In the 4 weeks and 100 miles since it arrived, my experience with the bike has confirmed my choice, and I simply couldn't be happier. From the beginning, I was selecting a bike that could be both workhorse transportation in grid down and a versatile and enjoyable pastime while things are normal. Given the investment I was considering, I was willing to pay a little more to get the high-end features, but only a little more. In the end, I paid about $300 over the next best choice, but got a lot extra for the premium. If you choose the same bike, your premium will be negligible. More of this at the end of the video. Although I have decades of riding experience with a series of well-spec'd mid-range mountain bikes, I began collecting feedback from the local e-bike riders, spent a lot of time in YouTube videos and on manufacturers' websites, and researched the benefits of various e-bike specifications and features. In making my selection, the must-have features were 26-inch fat tires for all-terrain, all-weather use and ride comfort, front and rear suspension for ride comfort and load capacity, 750-watt motor for full power, rear hub motor for simpler operation, hydraulic brakes for improved stopping and lower maintenance, folding frame for flexibility in transporting and storing the bike, thumb throttle so the motor can be used without pedaling, high 300-pound payload so I can transport equipment and supplies. The Wallke X3 Pro is one of the very few bikes that has all of these features and costs considerably less than the others that do. As I record this, it's also one of the few that's readily available, with USA deliveries in 10 to 15 days. The critical attributes of my chosen bike are all the features previously listed, 300-pound payload capacity plus additional payload in a towed trailer due to the high motor power, 50 to 60-mile range, all-terrain, all-weather capability including riding in snow, and the bike was delivered in about 12 days rather than the 10 to 16 weeks from most other manufacturers. So let's look at the bike. My first requirement was the bike needed maximum power and payload so it could carry me and a load of gear to another location, or to be primary local transportation should regular vehicles not be available or practical. In grid down, gasoline and therefore cars will not be an option for very long. The Wallke X3 Pro is constructed of 6061 aluminum, similar to what's used in aircraft structural components and AR-15s. The frame is a sleek and very sturdy design with more material than used in the go-for-broke lightweight bikes favored by racers and distance riders. At 72 pounds, it's heavier than other bikes but will carry more and stand up longer. The heavy-duty construction includes perhaps the best-built rail carrier I could find. It can easily support a 100-pound load or even another person. This e-bike met my payload requirements better than anything else. It's a fat tire bike with 26x4 tires that are good on or off-road and cushion the ride. They're also going to be less bogged down in sand or snow. Studded versions are even available for winter riding. A unique feature is the folding frame, which allows the full-size bike to easily fit in the back of a minivan or SUV. Where nearly all e-bikes have adjustable front suspension, the Wallke X3 Pro also has rear suspension, which further softens the ride and protects the frame when carrying a payload over rough terrain. The bike has the larger 180mm hydraulic disc brakes necessary for a large payload. Hydraulic brakes clamp the disc from both sides, unlike mechanical brakes where usually one pad presses the disc against the fixed inside pad. This not only makes the brakes more effective, it also reduces the need for periodic adjustments. The heart of the bike is a 48-volt, 750-watt motor and a 14-amp-hour battery. The rear hub motor configuration means the bike has two independent mechanisms for power. The first is pedal power through a Shimano 8-speed derailleur, so it can be ridden just like a non-electric bike. Most e-bikes only have 7-speed derailleurs. The second is electric power from the motor, which can assist your pedaling or power the bike on its own. At 750 watts, the motor is right at the maximum power for an unlicensed bike in the U.S. It provides a ton of power to carry myself and a heavy load up hills and across challenging terrain. Part of the Wallke X3 Pro's unique design is that its 14 amp-hour lithium-ion battery pack is securely enclosed in the main tube, needing a key to remove it. This protects the most expensive component from thieves while making the bike more aesthetically pleasing. The battery charges from depleted to full in about 5 hours, but has so much capacity that I've barely been able to make a dent in it, even with several days riding. The battery can be charged while in the frame or when removed. At the core of the Wallke X3 Pro is the controller and display. There simply is no better electronic display on any e-bike. The 4.3-inch OLED color display is about the size of a cell phone, but is completely readable in bright sunlight, an absolute requirement in the Southwest desert. It shows speed both numerically and with the dial and pointer, battery charge state both with a graphic and numerically, and instantaneous motor power both numerically and graphically. The unique motor power display tells you what's really going on with power consumption and is the key to maximizing range on the bike. It's the equivalent to the instantaneous fuel consumption display in some cars. The display also features odometer, trip odometer, maximum speed, and average speed stats. There are also indicators for the headlight and for USB charging for your phone. The bike comes with a very good cell phone mount with its own USB charging port. There's also an extra USB dongle if you want to power another device like perhaps a specialized GPS unit or a radio. Naturally, the display also shows the power mode. On my bike, modes 0 to 5 control the upper speed level the motor is set to provide. This is a lot like gears in a car. For each mode, the motor will assist or power the bike up to a certain speed and stop helping above that point. For me, that means speed levels at 10, 15, 20, 25, and 28 miles an hour. Mode 0 disables the motor assist, setting the bike to ride like a normal mountain bike. The modes bring up another major feature of the Wallke X3 Pro. Unlike almost all other e-bikes, the controller is user programmable. This is a major benefit in that you can change the power characteristics of the bike to suit your needs. Almost all other bikes exclude this capability, and you're stuck with the manufacturer's settings. In my case, I was able to give the bike 5 modes instead of the default 3, and tune them to match my friends' bikes so it's easier to ride together. The Wallke controller has a myriad of parameters you can also use to customize your bike. Other advanced features include automatic light level detection that turns on your headlight and dims the display for low light riding, cruise control, an assisted walk mode so you don't have to push your bike, a godsend if the bike is loaded or you're walking it uphill. Also customization for the amount and timing of the motor assist, and more. In addition, the bike has flattened leather-like hand grips for riding comfort and guards to protect the front sprocket and rear derailleur. I expected a fat tire bike to be heavy and ponderous, but with the Wallke X3 Pro that simply isn't the case. The bike is surprisingly agile, riding very much like my mid-range mountain bike. With the particular gearing of the Shimano 8-speed system, it's easy to ride without motor power. As a way to get into shape, e-bikes are an absolute dream. You can get the fitness benefits by using the motor less or not at all, and let the motor take over when you need to rest. You can ride with friends or youngsters without having to worry about not having the stamina to get back. Riding's a lot of fun when it's not pure exertion, and that gets you out more. I've certainly shed unneeded weight since I got the bike and enjoyed the cardio. For distance riding, imagine hitting the end of a battery capacity at roughly 60 miles and riding on your own power from there, still fresh because the first 60 miles were motor assisted. In my case, with the extra battery I purchased, my real work would begin some 6 hours and 120 miles after I started out on a very long ride. The Wallke X3 Pro is a full-size bike. Fat tires raise the height of any bike, and for this one, the standover height means the rider's estimated minimum height should be 5 foot 6 inches. So if you're not tall, this may not be your best choice. One other experience is important to note. The company sent me an email confirmation on the shipment of my bike, and my response back started an ongoing conversation with the company. Later, I had a technical issue and emailed the company in the evening. I was shocked to get a text message back 10 minutes later. That turned into a FaceTime call where the rep put a factory tech on to look at the bike. 10 minutes later, I had a solution for my, quote, problem. This all happened after the dinner hour in Arizona. Never have I had service like that from any company. These guys blew me away. Pretty much all e-bikes are engineered to freewheel. The motor disconnects from the wheel when it's not powering the bike. This is absolutely necessary, or you'd have to produce enough pedal power to both drive the bike and turn the motor, making riding very difficult. A side effect of this is that the speed sensors in the motor aren't turning and can't provide data to the speedometer or odometer. Consequently, the speedometer drops to zero when you're coasting or if the motor's turned off. This isn't a problem specific to Wallke, but is common to almost all e-bikes. I noticed that this isn't in most reviews, and I've concluded that the idiosyncrasy is so well known that it doesn't get mentioned. This isn't a problem specific to Wallke, but is common with almost all e-bikes. Since knowing my exact speed from moment to moment isn't exactly on my priority list, I've concluded this is something I can live with. I think the Wallke X3 Pro is as near perfect as can be made with current technology and components. However, there are a couple of things that I'd like to have on the bike. Fortunately, they're easy items to find and install yourself, and they do enhance the safety of the bike. First, I replaced the rear reflector with a combination taillight brake light unit. This battery-powered unit provides a taillight and, more importantly, a brake light using an internal sensor to tell when the bike is decelerating. It also turns off when the bike is still and turns back on when it's being ridden. This gives the unit a long battery life and doesn't require me to remember to turn it on and off. The second item I added was a mirror. I feel this is a basic safety item and an absolute requirement. The mirror I added is very sturdy, and its slightly convex shape really works well. To get it right against the hand grip required moving the controller and the throttle inward, but this took only a few minutes. These two items cost me a little over $40 and complete the bike. I put links to those items in the description below. As an accessory, I also added a bag that straps to the carrier, which holds a water bottle, first aid kit, a pump and patch kit, tools to make adjustments to the bike, and sundry items like sunscreen and sunglasses. As a first-time e-bike owner, I found there was a lot to know to get the most out of the bike, and the manual didn't provide much of the how-to information that would have flattened the learning curve. My research and note-taking on the important things that made it easier to understand and operate, especially an e-bike with a high-end programmable controller, turned into a rider's manual I wrote for the bike. You can get it on Amazon or download it for free at the channel support site at www.desertprep.info. The manual is specific to my particular model, but has good information that will apply to pretty much any e-bike. To make the bike a truly zero-emissions vehicle and to provide for grid-down use, I built a solar charger and purchased an extra battery so I can charge one while I ride the other. I'll detail the solar charger in another video. It's the easiest solar project I've done yet, and my bike has been 100% off-grid. If you're not familiar with e-bikes, the motor assist is almost magical. When you're pedaling, the motor kicks in and helps. It's like having someone give you a push. Uphill is like flat ground, and flat ground is almost like coasting. Up to the programmed speed for the mode you've selected, the motor will help out, but above that, you're doing all the work. This means you can get as much cardio as you'd like. The motor assist is the game changer that's driving the switch to e-bikes. Cycling is now a pastime for everyone at every age and fitness level. You can travel where you wish, enjoy the fun and freedom of riding without the exertion that used to be required. With the power assist, you can ride the bike at speeds and inclines that were once reserved only for the most capable riders. You get to choose how much you contribute, so you can build fitness over time, pedaling at your own level, using as much or as little of the motor assist as you care to. As you tire, the bike can take over as you rest, so you can always keep up with your kids or friends. If you get exhausted, the bike will carry you home. Should you run out of battery power or just choose to ride without the motor, the freewheeling rear hub means you don't have to also power a connected motor, so the bike rides pretty much like a regular mountain bike. After several weeks and more than 100 miles in urban, rural, and off-road terrain, I think the Wallke X3 Pro really is the perfect bike for preppers. It has the payload capacity, power, and range to be a replacement for personal transportation. The folding frame adds an unmatched versatility that means you can transport the bike to places where it's needed and make storage much easier. For you, I've contacted the company and they've authorized a discount code for channel viewers. You will get 10% off your own Wallke X3 Pro at their website, www.outdoorebike.com, by entering the discount code DesertPrep at checkout. You'll pay less than I did and get your bike at a price barely above that of the second best choice on my list. Again, for clarity, I do not receive any compensation if you choose the same bike that I got. As I record this, e-bikes are in short supply, so I can't say how long the discount code offer will last. In normal times and in urban environments, the Wallke X3 Pro is a fun and very capable e-bike with a very rich feature set that you're sure to enjoy. If you're on a farm or live off-grid, this is a serious transportation option, extending your range and reducing the time it takes to cover distance. For people carrying extra pounds, it can be a fun and easier way to get some cardio and increase fitness. And it's a ton of fun. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you learned something new, please like the video and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. As always, stay safe and be prepared.